Food, welcome back to IGHQ. You can call me COMM, and in today's Ehpex video, we dive beneath the surface of Season 22's SHOCKWAVE, just launched in the Ehpex games, and if you missed the surface intel, specifically the new maps and modes, I'll link it up in the cards. I'm still having a lot of fun exploring these new LZs and running around with the Akimbo Mozams, and I hope the season's treating you well so far as well. But again, today, talking about the rest of the changes to come into the game beneath the surface, so if I miss anything, remember to leave it in the comments down below, that way we can have all the facts in one place, and I've also timestamped everything for your viewing pleasure, or if you just want to skip to the facts you need. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy the video, learn an Ehpex fact, and maybe even subscribe for some future Ehpex content like this. But now, let's get into it. Starting with our rotations, map, crate, and gold weapons, of course, with the E District bringing the energy and being the new map, it'll stay featured for the first week in pubs and 72 hours in ranked, and then thrown into rotation in between Broken Moon and Stormpoint. So question for you, what's your favorite map on the season? Assuming that it's the new one, what's your favorite LZ so far? I'm also just going to be cycling in the Mixtape rotations over the week here in the background, so feel free to pause, but we'll just say that most notably we have the Akimbo weapons being added into the loadouts for Mixtape, and then an Akimbo and LMG only loadout week from August 13th to 19th, a weekend of Lockdown on August 30th, and then the return of Big TDM on September 3rd. As for our care pack rotation, the EVA 8 comes back to the floor and the R99 gets put in. The EVA 8 gets its blast pattern size slightly increased, damage increased to 7 was 6, fire rate decreased. It'll also now take the boosted loader hop up with 4 shots remaining for activation, and quick reload overflows the magazine by 2. It'll also now see a slight increase to its recoil. The R99 putting into the crate sees an ADS strafe speed increase, improved recoil, and then a new feature where it actually has a damage fall off, so the damage being increased to 14 at close range but will fall off to 10 at around 11 plus meters. It'll also have no movement penalty when equipped. Our gold weapon rotation puts the Akimbo Mozam and P2020 in its rotation alongside the R301, Rampage, and Sentinel. Honestly, a great set of weapons to be finding in the bins, which have actually had some adjustments, so let's move on to our system changes there. Starting with the bins, which will now be re-rolled mid-match. These bins will have a different appearance and be legendary, offering smart loot to you and your team. Additionally, we will now have one mythic bin spawn in the map with one random care package weapon, gold versions of weapons to those of the squad running at the time that open it, and then medical supplies grenades, and a large Evo bonus to the squad. On the note of Evo cash is seen increased from 50% to 100%, and for our general loot pool, purple and gold attachments have been decreased by about 50%. Improvements to the end ring generation system, however, have been made, and for traversal, mantling at the same time and spot as your teammate will no longer force both of you to drop. For death boxes and Loba's Market, the UI has been slightly adjusted, grouping the healing items into its own category now, and always putting the shield core at the top of the gear section. As for a few more major gameplay updates, we touched on the battle sense features to come in SHOCKWAVE like the health bars and highlights, but there was also some better ammo awareness and feedback that was added as well, like critical ammo state will now kick on when players have 0 relevant ammo in their inventory, an on-screen low ammo indicator will kick on earlier now, allowing players more opportunity to find ammo. Indicators also now display the icon of the ammo type. Pinging for the ammo will now display the ammo icon in the kill feed. When emptying a weapon of all reserve ammo, it will now automatically ping that player is in need of ammo. And when looking at ammo on the ground, the tooltip now displays compatibility with any of your currently equipped weapons. Though this has been pretty nice, more noticeably has been the major adjustments to the aim assist and flinch. So for aim assist on console crossplay into PC lobbies, aim assist strength has been reduced by 18%. For console performance mode crossplay into PC lobbies, aim assist strength has been reduced by 22%, and for controller on PC, aim assist strength reduced by 25%. So as for the aim flinch, it's also been removed from all weapons and most abilities, but damage from the ring will still incur aim flinch. Since we're talking about aim, let's move on to our weapon changes as well as some ammo and attachments for the season. First, we'll look at our ammo spawn rates, which see a bit of an adjustment, energy ammo a reduced individual spawn rate, light and heavy ammo see a slight increase to their individual spawn rate, as well as shotgun and sniper ammo seeing an increase to their spawn rate. But not only have their spawn rates been adjusted, the ammo per stack has been changed. So as you can see on screen here, the light ammo stack size has been increased to 72, the individual brick size increased to 24, the ammo stack size decreased to 54, and the individual brick size to 18. And for shotgun ammo, the stack size increased to 20 and the individual brick size increased to 10. As we move on to our attachments, obviously you know we have the akimbo weapons, but we also have a change to our hop-ups. The disruptor rounds have been removed from the floor loop, but we also have a new hop-up. You may have noticed the gun shield generator. This usable by all LMGs, Spitfire, Rampage, L-Star, Devotion, and when aiming down sights it'll automatically deploy a frontal gun shield. It absorbs 40 damage and will recharge in 12 seconds after taking damage or breaking. This works really well with specifically Gibraltar and his shield, increasing its health to 75, while the recharge time remains the same as his passive. A quick note while we get into the rest of the weapon changes here is that for all LMGs, they'll now benefit from that reverse hipfire mechanic that was found on the Care Pack Devotion, so firing from the hip actually increases your accuracy. Looking now at the alternator, it has a magazine size change, not in the base mag, but with white, blue, or purple it sees 1 bullet added, as well as the car, also unchanged at its base, but with white, blue, or purple, 1 more bullet added into each mag. Looking at the Devotion, the Care Pack weapon, the empty reload speed has been decreased, the gun shield generator has been added, and the reverse hipfire has been improved. Shots needed for max hipfire reduced to 14 was 21. Looking now at the flatline, it sees also a magazine size change. The base now 19 was 20, with white 23, blue 27, and then for purple and gold 29 was 30. Friggin' havoc, the hipfire accuracy now has been significantly reduced. Hopefully this thing's a bit less of a beast this season. Talking about beasts though, Hemlock's always been one, but the burst delay sees slight increase. The damage been reduced to 19, however was 20. The magazine size has also been reduced, not at its base, but at white, blue, and purple. Does have a bit of a change, getting a few less bullets, kind of like the flatline. The P2020, when used singly, has a damage increase to 21, was 18. Hammer point damage decreased to 23, was 27, and also has a mag size changed. At its base, sees only 10 rounds instead of 14, white 11 instead of 16, blue 12 instead of 18, and then purple and gold 14 was 21. For the Mozambique in its single form, hammer point damage for a full blast reduced to 54 was 60, and the rate of fire significantly increased. Shotgun bolt rate of fire multiplier decreased though at all levels. Continuing with our last two big boys shotguns, we have the Mastiff seeing a damage increase to 15 was 11, but the pellet count reduced to 6 was 8, and you can see a blast pattern change here. As well as for the Peacekeeper, the damage has been actually increased per pellet to 11 was 9, but the pellet count reduced to 9 was 11, and the blast pattern shape also changed. Looking now at the R301, it has to do the same thing as all the other guns, adjust its magazine size, but it actually sees an increase at its base by a couple, and then also with white, blue, and purple, a few more bullets in each magazine. The RE45 also at its base sees an increase to 18 was 16, and then with white, blue, and purple gets an extra bullet in each mag. Lastly for our weapons though, Rampage sees an increased projectile size while revved up. That does move us on to our legend changes, which because of the battle sense sees changes to recon and also control legends majorly, so let's start with that and then dive into the specific legend changes. So for the controller class, there's a new class perk called Zone Overcharge. This allows controller legends to now have an extra shield capacity when playing in the zone. The zone automatically grants an overshield of 25 HP. The capacity is permanent while the players remain in the zone and is only lost when leaving the zone after a 5-second delay. Overcharge can also be healed by cells, batteries, and abilities while in the zone, and if a player enters the zone at full shields, the overcharge pip will fill automatically. If a player acquires a shield core that overcharges beyond this extra zone capacity, that additional overcharge will still drain normally, but the zone overcharge will remain. Zone Overcharge will never enhance Legends armor beyond maximum red capacity though, however, so just keep that in mind. Another quality of life change to our Controller Legends is the remote pickup feature, which allows Controller Legends to remotely pick up their undamaged tacticals just by looking back at them and pressing a button. Additionally, if the player abandons the area that they are in, they'll just be prompted to recover all possible objects, and that remote recovery will just restore your tactical charge. I think this is super cool, especially as someone that likes to use Rampart and go crazy with Sheila every now and then. As for our Recon class, they also see a new class perk called Threat Vision, which allows Recon Legends to gain threat vision when aiming down sight. This is a highlight on the enemies. It will not work through walls or smoke and has a limited range, but just going to help Recon Legends, as well as the fact that their survey beacons now can be used in 3 seconds versus 7.5 seconds. Unfortunately though, the range has been shortened to 500 meters instead of scanning the entire map, but it'll no longer randomly distribute the scanning beacons, and it'll just activate all of them on the map, and scanning them will only grant 75 evo instead of 200, but will pulse 3 times over 15 seconds, with each pulse taking a snapshot of enemies in range for about 5 seconds. It will now also release a large in-world scan wave that players can spot to identify its activation instead of a message in the feed. Continuing now with some legend specific changes, and starting with our newest legend added last season, Alter, the Void Nexus. Now channel time when knocked decreased to 2 seconds was 3, chase portal duration decreased to 8 seconds was 10, chase portal opening delay increased to 8 seconds was 6, increased travel speed to Void Nexus by about 40%, alt cooldown reduced to 3 minutes was 3.5 minutes, and when knocked you can travel to a friendly Void Nexus without looking at it just by pressing the character interaction button, the H key, or the D-pad down. They also removed the option for you to destroy your own Void Nexus. Lastly, for her upgrade perks, at level 2, alt cooldown has been removed, and in its place they've put Ringmaster, which gains you access to ring consoles. Quickly here for Ballistic, they made the Whistler lock-on time decrease to 0.1 second was 0.3 seconds. For Caustic, they finally made it so that your friendly traps will have a green bottom, differentiating them from enemy traps, remaining with the orangey red bottom. Looking at Crypto here, for his surveillance drone, the cooldown has been decreased to 30 seconds was 40, and his upgrade perks, he actually gets a new one called Off the Grid, which allows Crypto to become cloaked when in his drone. That being said, his cloaking will still emit a close range kind of audio cue, so you can still suss out his location, and scans will reveal his location as well, but Threat Vision will not be able to suss him out. Quick Ping, which used to be the perk in this place and improved the drone handling, has now just been integrated into his character, so he should have improved drone handling when he's in his drone going invis. And then for the level 3 perk Satellite Imagery, the alt now scans anyone it hits for 4 seconds and will track through walls. For Lifeline, they changed the upgrade gold plated, replacing the Evo cache with a battery instead, compounding the Evo caches and the gold knockdowns that the care packages of Lifeline would bring in, kinda ruined the effort to try to get to that end tier armor level. Moving on to my lovely Rampart here and talking about the Sheila, the ammo drains from the pip charge with use. Maximum number of placed turrets allowed is 1. Need 1 pip of ultimate charge to draw or place Sheila. No longer requires a full charge to equip. Now uses an ammo style ultimate model. Moving on to Seer though, the focus of attention, health bars persist for duration of silence, the heartbeat sensor, passive move speed has been increased to weapon sprint speed, and the passive is now quieter when active. As for his upgrades, the focus scan has been removed, and a new split focus ability has been added, which gains an additional tactical charge. For Vantage, her Echo relocation no longer requires a line of sight to Echo to actually launch her. She can now cancel the tactical mid-charge. The tactical reticle will turn red when Echo is behind you and you are launching, and will slide around boxes and geometry as best as it can to reach Echo. Her sniper's mark, the second shot multiplier, is now 2.5 was 2, and you can also just hit the reload button and it'll now trigger an ultimate accelerant when you're out of bullets. As for her spotter's lens, it gets a new range tracking, allowing the waypoint on ping within the passive range actually to track the enemy for 10 seconds, as well as the recon information that she gets has been added to all the optics, so not just needing to pull out her sniper to see, oh, that's a pack of 3 with purple shields. You can do that now just with the bruiser and your R3. Lastly, for her upgrades, if you use that alt reload now, it'll actually double up the ultimate accelerant speed and provide an extra 2 bullets. This moves us on to our last legend, with changes Watson, with just some changes to her upgrade system. Her power pylon, which doubled the alt HP, now also regenerates shield charge, and then they removed split current and added emergency power instead, which doubles the alt shield regeneration rate and capacity. Next, we're moving on to the game modes here, which of course we're having fun with the revival mode as well as the bot royale. Let me know how you've been warming up and faring against these bots, getting nothing but dubs, as well as we touched on Mixtape earlier. So really quick, we will just touch on the last mode, and that's ranked, and they've just made one little change, and that's in the reset system. So if you're in Rookie at the end of the season, you won't be reset on anything and you'll stay where you are. If you're in Bronze to Plat 4 though, you will be reset to Bronze 4 at the start of seasons. Plat 3, reset to Bronze 3, Plat 2, Bronze 2, Plat 1, Bronze 1. But then from Diamond 4, you're going to be reset to Diamond Silver, Diamond 3, Silver 3, Diamond 2, Silver 2, Diamond 1, Silver 1. So anything Master and above will just be reset to Gold, and this will hopefully just reset everyone staggered, instead of everyone just back to 0 where it's just chaos for the first couple weeks. They also plan on bringing back some more ranked Rumble from September 13th to 17th, so if you had fun participating in that, of course a bunch of matches that don't mess with your RP, there's actually going to be no re-entry mechanic this time, so you can play as much as you want, and you can just kind of place your best scores and see how you do. But that does move us on to our final 2 lists, the bug fixes and quality of life changes. Let's get in onto those bug fixes. We'll put them up on screen here and let's wrap this up. You can no longer use death boxes through walls. They've cleaned up disconnected players in Mixtape. In the firing range, mythic weapons are no longer taken away after respawning. They fixed a storm point zip line that could kick players off too early. They fixed some bad actor ping crashes, fixed Prowler spawn den bullet collision hull, some adaptive super sampling. They fixed an issue that caused screen tearing, as well as an issue that caused legend banner poses to appear distorted. For the death boxes, they've improved the ability to hopefully get these death boxes less stuck in doorways and, blocking exits, and actually allow you to access the ding dang death box when it's in a broken doorway instead of trying to open a broken door. It'll now also contain a shield core if the enemy has disconnected before dying. Some legend bug fixes here as well. Alter's ult can no longer be used for free if you place it onto a moving object and use it immediately. Bangalore smoke highlight should no longer get blocked by other players. Fixed an issue that let players affected by Catalyst's ultimate to see through Bangalore's smoke. A movement hitch when using Seer's passive while unarmed should no longer occur. And no more thefts from an explosive hold without warning, destroying Loba's black market. As for our quality of life changes, we talked about the traversal earlier with the mantling no longer knocking you down, but for our Mixtape gameplay, they added additional starting grenade for control and lockdown. The EVA 8 is back into the close quarters loadout, faster health regen for all Mixtape modes, lockdown score limit reduced to 400 was 500, reconnect match timer reduced to 2 minutes was 5 minutes, and the team deathmatch score limit reduced to 40 was 50. For Mixtape Skull Town, it got a spawn audit adjusting positions and angles. Nessies can once again bounce to their heart's content in the firing range, as well as they've added a new Nessie in the firing range, so make sure you try to spot that one out. It has an appreciation for cinema. As for the graphics, though, they've done a bunch more optimizing for the Xbox XS and PlayStation 5, as well as for the DX12 PC, fixing several, issues and graphical corruption. So hopefully some more improvements there, and of course, if you want to see the full breakdown, we'll add that link into the description alongside the other links for everything we talked about today. So feel free to come catch some dubs, but that's all we do have to talk about beneath the surface of Season 22 Shockwave. And wow, quite a lot of things shaking it up, and obviously with the surface bringing a shock. I hope the season's been treating you well so far, and again, just thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed or learned something new, please leave it a like, share it, or comment your favorite thing about the season so far, as again, it was a big one, and a lot's gone into this video, so any form of the Squid support means the world. But as always, I just appreciate you for being here. Stay safe, stay gaming, and I'll see you in the next one. Comms out. crack. Smurf, you need you.
This raid is
Fell down.
so good.
I hear her. Chase that epically. I gotta heal. It's all you for a second. Run away, run away. Got it.
Yeah.
Woo! We got the dub! Ending on a beautiful one, cleaning up both teams with the Mozam. Oh, this thing is so good. Smurfy, way to play that. Good patience.